Alright guys, we're picking up where we left off. We have a paddle that can move around, and we have two walls here. We are going to add two more walls and adjust the paddle and go over the code for moving the paddle around. So let's first off move our paddle where it needs to go. It needs to be down here near the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and make this look more like a paddle by using the scale mode here. And I'm going to shrink it just a little bit and make it a little bit wider, like this. And then I'm going to move it down a little bit more. Alright, so Control S saves. If I push play, it looks more like a paddle, but it can still move up and down, and we want to fix that. So here's what we're going to do. Let's go take a look at the code to this paddle. We we have right, left, down, and up. We are going to want to, we don't need the down and the up, so I'm going to comment out 13. I'm going to comment out 14, 15, and 16 here. And let's look at why we commented those out and how it actually does what we want it to do now. So this says function get input. So if the person puts some type of input into the computer, it's going to be processed under this function. If the person pushes the button, action is pressed. If they are pressing the button, UI right. We want to make the velocity equal to 1. So plus equals 1. It's going to add 1 to the velocity. If you look down here, it says velocity is normalized and multiplied by speed. Where else do we find speed in this? Up here at the top. So that means if we change this variable here, it's going to change the motion of how quickly these actions work, or how quickly the paddle moves. So if we change this to something like 400, our paddle is going to move even faster. Now X is left and right, positive X is to the right, negative X is to the left, and then we also have the Y-axis, which is positive is actually down, and then negative is up in this particular code here. So if we hit play, we are going to see that our paddle now moves a little bit faster, and we can no longer move it up and down. So that's good, and that's what we want. Alright, so let's go back to our scene here, and we are going to add some more walls. So a ceiling and a floor, and we're also going to clean this part up over here. We don't want to keep adding walls and fill up this side panel. So I'm going to click level 1, and I'm going to add another 2D node. This 2D node is going to act like a folder. So I'm going to call this walls. And this is just going to store our walls. So whenever we need to access our walls, will go into this folder. So what I'm doing now is I'm grabbing on this wall, left clicking, and I'm holding it, and I'm just going to drop it into the walls folder, one of them and 2. And I'm clicking this one, it's lighting up this guy over here, and so I'm going to rename this one to right wall, and this one I'm going to call this one left wall. Here we go. Good. Now what I need to do, we need a ceiling. So if I click on one and I push Control D, you're going to see that it copies that wall. And if I use this, I can move this over. Ooh, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so there's my left wall, but I need to rotate it. You can use this rotate button here, and you can rotate it, but I'm going to show you a better way to rotate it so you can have it exactly left and right, exactly horizontal. Over here on the right hand side you have transform. if you click transform, you can see that there's a rotation here. So when I rotate it, it changes that number. So some ones to remember are 90 and also 180, and even 45 sometimes can be useful, but we're going to use the 90 degrees. So that's exactly horizontal. I am going to scale the wall to fill up this little area, and I'm going to call this one ceiling. And I am going to duplicate this wall and put it down there, and so now I will have a floor. So I'm going to select the ceiling, Control D. I'm going to move it down. Now that's my floor. And I'm going to rename this one to floor. There we go. Let's hit play. And there we go. We have 4 walls and our paddle moves correctly. Alright, that's where I'm going to leave us on this one. I'll see you guys later.